A very warm welcome to everybody present here. This is Vaishnavi Mula, an executive trainee at the Legal Advocacy and Regulatory Department. In the last couple of years, we've been grappling with the pandemic and it has affected us in all spheres of life, be it physical, mental, emotional, or financial. However, there have been many upsides to the pandemic as well. And one of them being that COVID-19 has led to a collective awakening to the importance of a holistic approach to health to lead a fulfilling and a happier life. As Greg Anderson has rightly put it, wellness is not a medical quick fix, but a way of living. It is a lifestyle sensitive and responsive to all the dimensions of body, mind, and spirit. It is also an approach to life that all of us designed to achieve our highest potential for well-being now and forever. We are here today to celebrate a fuller life, which is an employee-centric initiative launched by Tata Power on the 7th of April, which was the World Health Day, to guide and enlighten our employees and their families on the importance of maintaining overall well-being in order to be more engaged at work, resulting in higher productivity. Without much ado, I'd now like to introduce our guest speaker for the day, which is Ms. Jinal Shah, who is a much sought after senior nutritionist at working with Ms. Rujuta Diwekar, and she's also a TEDx speaker. She completed her master's in clinical nutrition and dietetics from University of Mumbai in 2012. Post that, she has been actively engaged in working in the nutrition space, and she has delivered multiple lectures and participated in conferences, be it at the international level or the national level. She has participated in European Nutrition Conference at Dublin and has also participated in an international conference on public health in Malaysia, among others. Apart from that, she has also worked with eminent organizations like the IIT Mumbai, DY Patil University, Femina India, Times Life, Mumbai Police, among others. There is a long list of her accomplishments. However, due to paucity of time, I'd now like to request Ms. Jinal Shah to take over and share her wisdom with all of us. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Vaishnavi, and namaskar to everyone. Thank you so much, Tata Power, for having me here today. I think it's a beautiful initiative, a fuller life. It sounds wonderful, and I think I'm very fortunate to get an opportunity to do a talk on this, as one of the part of your platform. So thank you very much, and Rujuta sends her love and warm regards to everyone who's joined us today. So I'm going to quickly jump into our topic for today, which is healthy habits. Like Vaishnavi rightly said, I think health is wealth. ये तो हम सबको मालूम है, सुना है, समझता है, acknowledge भी करते हैं. But I think this pandemic has just validated this fact that much more, that there is nothing bigger than your health. So it's time that we kind of take charge of things and do it in a sustainable manner. I think that's very, very important. But unfortunately, when we talk about health, how do we all measure our health? कैसे हम अपने health को measure करते हैं? Mostly, our health is measured. We look at our health from the point of view of weight loss. Correct? That's what we feel. कि हम किधर भी गए, you visit a medical professional, you go to a gynac with any issue, you go to an orthopedic with a knee problem, you go to an endocrinologist with a hormonal issue. What is that one-stop solution, or like the Rambaan upay that we all get to hear? कि अगर तुमको knee का दर्द कम करना है, तो just lose about 5 kilos. Yeah, you want your periods to get regulated, you just need to lose some weight. Back pain hai, just lose about 5-7 kgs. That's like the one-stop solution for everything, right? That's what's told to us. And अपने को लगता है कि yes, that's correct. Weight loss अगर मैं करूँगी या मैं करूँगा, तो I'm going to get healthier. So the first healthy habit that I want to share with all of you is that stand on your own 2 feet to see how light, energetic, and how good you feel about your body, and do not stand on the weighing scale. Weighing scale पे चढ़ के आपके health को आप measure मत करो. अपने दोनों पैरों पे, भगवान ने अपने को 2 पैर दिया है exactly for this reason, to know how good you're feeling, how light you experienced your own body or your own 2 feet. And if you're feeling that, you should know that you're on the right track. Why not the weighing scale? See, the thing is that weight जो है as a number does not tell you anything about your health, fitness, thinness, fatness or beauty. It gives you one number जिसके basis पे unfortunately हम हमारा पूरा जिंदगी decide कर लेते हैं that what is it that I'm going to do now. अभी I'm going to stop eating rice. अभी ये मैंगो सीजन में तो मैं एक भी मैंगो को टच नहीं करने वाली हूँ because अभी बहुत ज्यादा वजन बढ़ गया है. You know, we do all kind of things. We go extreme, we deprive ourselves, we starve ourselves, we cut out one food group, we do this. And we see some changes, so-called changes for a temporary period of time. Right? हमको सबको लगता है कि हाँ, ये अभी मैंने बंद कर दिया ना, इसके लिए देखो मेरा वजन कितना फट से घटने लगा. जो भी वजन फट से घटता है, if you see a short-term result, you know, like in a short term, if you see a quick result or a quick fix, then you should know that it is not here to last permanently. Okay, you guys will know this better than me, that anything which is short term doesn't work. It's like being in a relationship where you feel like, oh, there is a lot of romance initially. When there is just too much romance, all of us doubt it, right? अपने को लगता है कि, okay, is this really going to last? क्योंकि ये sustainable तो नहीं है. It's the same thing with food. If you just see, or it's the same thing with the diet, you just get onto a diet where you see fat weight loss. You have to really rethink that, are you on the right track and are you actually going to be able to sustain this? What I'm trying to say is that don't use weight as a measurement of your health. क्योंकि body weight जो है वो सिर्फ फैट से बना हुआ नहीं है. बॉडी वेट जो है वो दो मेन एलिमेंट से बना हुआ है. एक जिसको कहते हैं फैट फ्री मास या लीन बॉडी मास, which is your bone, your muscle, your organ weight, your water weight, skin, hair, nails, ये सारी चीजें आती है in what is called as the lean body mass. And the other thing is your fat mass. Now, when we want to lose weight, why do we essentially want to lose weight? We want to lose weight because we all want to look young and we all want to look sexy and we all want to feel 18 till you die. तो अगर हमको young, sexy, fit, handsome दिखना है, so what we actually need to gain is this lean body mass, and what we need to burn is fat mass. Now, when you do a quick fix just for weight loss, जो भी आपको instantly weight loss दिख रहा है, वो weight loss fat का नहीं है, वो fat उधर का उधर ही बैठा रहता है. What you see as the drop in numbers is mostly your muscle weight going down, your bone weight going down, you know, your health getting compromised. I'll give you a quick example. You know, a lot of us, when we work with clients, they tell us कि okay, I did X diet, मैंने सिर्फ fat और protein पे focus किया और carbs निकाल दिया. I lost 10 kilos in less than 2 months, and within the next 1 month, I regained all of that 10 kilos back, and more than that. Not just did I regain that weight back, but I also had, like, my thyroid started to show up. You know, you end up with some kind of a health issue along with regaining the weight that you have actually lost. And then you feel like, अरे मेरे willpower में कोई problem है. Then next time you pick up a diet which is even tighter. But the point is that your diet is not wrong to begin with. Your willpower is not compromised to begin with. But what you are following as a method of life, as your lifestyle, as your eating pattern is where you are going wrong. हम सारा खुन्नस हमेशा खाने पे निकालते हैं. अपने को डिसिप्लिन नहीं रहने का है, टाइम पे नहीं खाने का है, एक्सरसाइज नहीं करने का है, सोने का नहीं है. You don't want to eat the right things, and then you end up cutting out all the good stuff out of your diet. So when you look at weight as a number or a measure of your health, you're actually going completely wrong. What you need to look at is the factors that influence your daily life. So we call it as the metabolic health parameters. I'm going to share about 5-6 parameters that you should check or you should track to know whether you are on the right track or not. अगर इन parameters में आपको कोई disturbances दिख रहे हैं, मतलब आप जो भी follow कर रहे हो वो आपके लिए long term काम में नहीं आने वाला है. So don't look at the weighing scale, but look at the health parameters that I will share now. Number 1, are you waking up feeling fresh? Are you waking up energetic? And are you able to sustain good levels of energy through the day? कभी कभी क्या होता है कि हम उठते ही थके हुए हैं, like you get up only feeling tired. अगर वो हो रहा है तो whatever diet you're following is not working for you. Number 2, are you able to sleep well at night? आजकल क्या होने लगा है कि हमको रातों को नींद नहीं आती है और फिर सुबह को हम उठ नहीं पाते और पूरा दिन we feel a slump and we are not even in any kind of इश्क विश्क प्यार व्यार कुछ भी नहीं, बस कुछ डाइटिंग पे लगे हुए हैं, इसलिए रात की नींद हराम हो गई है. So if you're not getting good sleep in the night and you're not waking up fresh in the morning, it's a problem. Number 3, are you able to comply with your exercise routine? Typically at the beginning of the year, yeah, on days like World Health Day hai, to abhi main decide karti hu ki I'm going to start exercising, and you sign up with a gym. You go for a week, you go for 2 weeks max, uske baad donation. Isse acha, I feel Tata Power ke shares le lo. They're doing extremely well. So don't donate in the gym if you're not going to comply with your exercise plan. But if you're not able to comply, you should know that you're messing up somewhere with your diet. The fourth thing is that if you are experiencing any kind of indigestion, acidity, sugar cravings, constipation, bloating, agar ye kuch bhi cheezein aapko experience ho rahi hai, something is wrong. The fifth thing is, are you able to understand your own hunger and satiety signals? क्या आपको ये समझ में आ रहा है कि अब मुझे भूख लगी है, अब मुझे खाना चाहिए और अब मुझे रुक जाना चाहिए? Humans are supposedly the most intelligent species on earth, and we are all born with the ability to understand when to eat and when to stop eating. But dieting has ruined us. Dieting has completely messed up all of our signals, और अपने को पता ही नहीं है कि मैं कब खाऊं, कैसे खाऊं, कितना खाऊं, कब रुकूं. We constantly want another human being who's going to tell you how much to eat. Another human being in the name of a dietitian can never tell you how much you should eat. Anyone who's giving you quantities is essentially fooling you. So are you able to understand your own hunger and satiety signals? And the last parameter that you should watch out for, this is for all women, all girls who are on this chat right now, is your period cycle. कि ए आपका period cycle regular है कि नहीं? Are you getting it every month or whatever your cycle is, 28 days, 35 days, 45 days? Are you getting it at regular intervals? B, are you having painless, effortless periods? Because the thing is that अपने को period pain normalize कर दिया है हमने, and अपने को ऐसा लगता है that of course first second day पे pain होने ही वाला है, mood swings होने ही वाले हैं, इसको अभी ये time पे छेड़ो मत because she's going to snap back at you. Those kind of things have been normalized, but they are not normal. Ideally, our period should come and go without us even knowing कि period आया और गया. That's how smooth it should be. So these 6 parameters is what you should watch out for to know if you're on the right track or not, and not your body weight, because body weight too, if you fall sick also you lose weight. Where you're getting healthy if you're falling sick? You're not, right? You've realized this. But I want to share one concept with you. क्योंकि अभी क्या हो गया है ना, with lockdown, we all have seen changes in our body with COVID, with the stress around it, with work from home. So there is a phenomenon called as quarantine 15, where globally people have ended up gaining close to about 15 pounds. And this has happened to a lot of people around, out of nowhere. Okay, you've just gained 15 pounds minimum weight gain hua hai. Ye quarantine 15 term got coined because a lot of people were experiencing this issue, and then there was this study done. Why has this happened? Multiple reasons: more sitting, more stress, long hours of gadget use. While there was work at home, there was also a whole lot of sitting that happened through this time. And of course, that whole environment was quite stressful. Now, this quarantine 15, yeah, for all of you who have ended up gaining weight during this period, it is not because you have just, unless of course you have done crash diets and you have just eaten a whole lot of packaged foods and you have eaten junk, then it's a problem. For everyone who's been eating normally and experienced this gain of weight, do not remove this bhadas on your food, because ये आपके food के वजह से नहीं हुआ है, ये पूरे lifestyle change के वजह से you have probably end up gaining weight. So don't go after weight loss, go after health gain. As you gain health, while you see an improvement on all of these parameters that I've shared with you, weight loss will follow as a byproduct. So weight loss को chase मत करो, health gain को chase करो. अपने आप आपको inch loss, shift of body volume, ये सब दिखेगा. Okay. So the first healthy habit is that you stand on your own 2 feet and see whether you're feeling light and energetic. Do not stand on the weighing scale. In fact, please, weighing scale को ना दान दे दो. For most of us who are from Bombay, we know this, that, lockdown ke pehle at least, every Sunday ko there was one person who would visit your house, the Raddi wala. And the Raddi wala would bring one, weighing scale. और तभी उसका value है कि जितना ज़्यादा वजन आया उतना ज़्यादा पैसा मिलेगा. So then it is okay to weigh. But why to weigh yourselves? Because it really doesn't tell you anything about your health and fitness. So please, weighing scale को दान दो. अगर आपके घर पे 1, 2, 3 people have, एक किचन में weighing scale, एक bathroom में weighing scale, एक bedroom में weighing scale, सब जगह you will weigh yourself in different clothes, without clothes, different times of the day, and make a note of it, then get all hassle कि सुबह को मेरा 2 किलो बढ़ गया, रात को मेरा 5 किलो कम हो गया, ये हो क्या रहा है? Don't put yourself through that stress. There is enough to deal with. You just look at your metabolic health parameters, and that will give you the inch loss that you require. Also know that when you get healthier and when you get fitter, your body makes gains in the bone density, in the muscle strength. और ये जो bone और muscle है ना, ये थोड़ा heavy रहता है, ये dense रहता है. It's like comparing 1 kg iron to 1 kg cotton. क्या होगा difference ये दोनों चीजों में? Cotton बहुत ज्यादा volume होगा, and iron कम volume पर ज्यादा density. That's the difference between your lean body mass and your fat mass. तो जब अच्छी तरीके से करेक्ट मेथड से ईटिंग राइट एंड एक्सरसाइजिंग एंड लाइफस्टाइल मॉडिफिकेशन करके व्हेन यू लूज वेट, यू लूज फैट एंड यू मेक गेन्स इन योर बोन मिनरल डेंसिटी एंड मसल स्ट्रेंथ. तो वजन काटे पे बहुत ज्यादा फर्क नहीं दिखता है, बट बॉडी वॉल्यूम श्रिंक होने लगता है, एनर्जी, स्लीप, ये सारी चीजें सुधरने लगती है, यू नो, मूड्स इंप्रूव होते हैं, हम लोगों को माफ करना ज्यादा सीख जाते हैं. ऑल दोस काइंड ऑफ थिंग्स हैपन. ओके, सो दैट्स हेल्दी हैबिट नंबर 1. Do not stand on the weighing scale, stand on your own 2 feet and look out for your metabolic health parameters. Healthy habit number 2 is that start your day with either a local seasonal fresh fruit or a handful of nuts. Now, for all those of you who have issues of acidity, constipation, bloating, a good thing to start off with is a banana. You know, banana is local, banana is available all throughout the year. It's an easy option. Wake up within the first 10-15 minutes to eat a banana. For those of you who have issues of blood sugar regulation, thyroid, you know, any of these kind of BP, heart issues, then you can start your day with overnight soaked badam. Okay, you soak 3-4 badam in the morning, you peel the skin and you eat it. For all girls who have issues of periods, infertility, PMS problem, headaches, migraines before periods, then you start your day with overnight soaked black raisins. काला raisins जो आता है वो 4-5 रात को पानी में soak कर दो, सुबह को you wake up and you have that. You drink the water also, in fact, and you can also soak 1-2 strands of kesar या saffron in another small vati, and you have that also in the morning. This is especially, it works extremely well for women who have all kinds of hormonal issues. Even women close to menopause who are having issues, this works extremely well for them. But especially for all girls who have period problem, you must do the black raisins. Why should you start your day with something like this, either a fruit or nuts or a dry fruit? Because when you are sleeping at night, you're essentially not eating anything, right? What do we typically do? सुबह को उठ के अपने को क्या चाहिए सबसे पहले? क्या है ना कि अपन डाइट पे रहते हैं, ठीक से खाते नहीं है, we are not exercising. तो in the morning we need one kick, no, एक लात चाहिए. तो कौन देता है वो लात? चाय या कॉफी. So we constantly want one झटका. So that stimulant we need. अपने को लगता है कि चाय पिए बिना मेरी आंखें खुलने नहीं वाली है. So I'm going to have to drink chai first. That happens because you're essentially not eating well through the day. But if you start your day with chai or coffee, you are inviting acidity, you're inviting constipation, you're inviting bloating, you're going to not feel sharper in your brain, your productivity will drop, you're not going to be a happy person. By 11-12 o'clock, you'll be snapping at everybody else in office. So you wake up, you have your banana or you have your nuts, and then after 10-15 minutes, you drink your chai or coffee. That's what you do. So do not start your day with chai and coffee. Abhi, with chai and coffee also, there are a few rules that you must follow. A, I already shared with you, khali pet pe chai or coffee mat piyo. B, don't replace any meals in the day with chai or coffee. What do we end up doing when we are in office or when we are at home? अपने को लगता है कि breakfast, lunch, dinner फिर भी हम खा लेते हैं, पर टाइम पे नहीं खाते, फिर भी खा लेते हैं. पर उसके बीच में क्या करते हैं? चाय या कॉफी दबाते रहते हैं. And what do we end up doing? Just suppressing our appetite, not planning anything, and then feeling like, अरे यार ये चावल खा के ना मेरे को बहुत तकलीफ होता है. The culprit is not your chawal. Culprit is basically ODing or overdosing on all this chai and coffee. So don't replace any meal with chai or coffee. I will tell you what meals you should have in between. The third rule is that do not have tea or coffee post 5 p.m. Sham ko, close to night, close to sunset, don't have, and sunset ke baad bhi, don't have any chai or coffee. Because tea or coffee basically is a stimulant, right? तो वो क्या करेगा? आपकी रात की नींद को वो खराब करेगा if you have it close to sunset and even after sunset. So after 5 p.m, no chai or coffee. And fourth most important rule in today's time, Don't mess with the way that you drink your chai or coffee. Abhi now I have moved to green tea. Abhi now I'm having just black coffee with a dollop of ghee. ये सब, you know, so-called healthy चीजें मत करो, because green tea हो या black tea हो या black coffee हो या white tea हो या normal coffee चाय हो, they are the exact same. वो बॉडी में एक ही तरीके से काम करते हैं. तो अपने को पता है क्या होता है टिपिकली, जैसा अपना पोस्ट बढ़ते जाता है ना, तो अपने डाइट के नखरे और भी बढ़ते जाते हैं. सो देन फ्रॉम नॉर्मल चाय वील गो टू शुगर फ्री चाय, फिर शुगर फ्री चाय से लेके कम दूध वाली चाय, फिर कम दूध वाली चाय से लेके ग्रीन टी. जैसे अपना पोस्ट बढ़ा वैसे अपना कॉम्प्रोमाइज बढ़ते ही जाता है विद आवर फूड. सब अपन, आई डोंट नो व्हाई वी डू दैट, बट वी फील दैट the higher post, the richer we are, the better we get with our life, the more we have to torture ourselves with food. It doesn't work like that. So please drink your tea or coffee the way it's meant to be had. Have it with the milk, have it with the masala, have it with the sugar. You know, Rujuta always says this कि life में कोई बहुत कम ऐसी चीजें होती है जो अपने को end तक वैसी की वैसी ही पसंद आती है. See, we don't even like our spouses, our husbands and wives as much till the end जितना अपने को starting में अच्छे लगते हैं. But चाय या कॉफी, ये दोनों ऐसी चीजें हैं depending on what you like, end तक पसंद आती है. तो उसको कॉम्प्रोमाइज मत करो. डोंट टॉर्चर योरसेल्फ, बिकॉज यू आर नॉट गेटिंग एनी काइंड ऑफ हेल्थ बेनिफिट्स बाय torturing and drinking that green tea or that black coffee. Just have your chai or coffee the way it's meant to be had. अगर आपको लगता है कि oh I'm doing a very great thing, मैंने गंगा नहा लिया by having without sugar वाला चाय, पर उसके साथ बिस्किट दबा रहे हो, तो प्लीज यू आर मेकिंग थिंग्स वर्स. आप बहुत गंदा कर रहे हो गंगा को, तो ऐसा मत करो. You have your tea and coffee with the sugar. When you have a normal chai or coffee, और कोई junk चीजें खाने का मन भी नहीं करेगा. Okay, so drink it like that. That's the rule number 4, and it's very, very important. So plan your tea and coffee like that. And lastly, about chai and coffee, don't have more than 2 to 3 cups maximum in a day. Okay, so start your day with a fresh local seasonal fruit or with nuts, and don't start your day with tea or coffee. That's habit number 2. Habit number 3, and very, very important habit, is avoid big gaps through the day. You know, we always do this. We ignore our food the most. We are very poor with our planning. See, what is it that finally all of us want? We want to do well with our work. We want our brain to function at its optimum. We want that alertness, that sharpness, that concentration, that focus, efficiency, turnover, share ka bhav badhte hi rehna chahiye. We want all of these things. But the only way we will get all of these things is if we are eating well. जब आप बड़े बड़े gaps रखते हो दिन में between your meals, you are basically depriving your brain of fuel. It's like अपने को यहाँ से लोनावला जाने का है, पर अपन ने पेट्रोल सिर्फ वाशी तक का भरा है, तो कैसे जाएंगे उधर तक? So it's the same thing with our food. That if you are not eating at regular intervals, and if you're keeping very, very big gaps, your brain is not going to function. क्योंकि जैसे गाड़ी को पेट्रोल लगता है, ब्रेन को ग्लूकोज लगता है. कहाँ से आता है ग्लूकोज? खाने से आता है ग्लूकोज. ओके, so avoid big gaps between the day. So for that, I'm going to quickly run you through how you should plan your entire day. And everything that I'm going to share with you right now for how you should eat through the day is applicable for people who want to gain weight, people who want to lose weight, thyroid, BP, heart issues, blood pressure, infertility, you know, whatever, back problem, knee problem, all kinds of issues that you have, you will be able to apply this kind of an eating pattern to your day. So the first thing is, like I already said, start your day with a fresh fruit or nuts, and then have your chai or coffee. Then you have your breakfast. Breakfast ko within an hour or maximum hour and a half of waking up. Suppose आप 6 बजे उठे, तो 8 बजे के अंदर तक try to eat your breakfast. Okay, within an hour or hour and a half of waking up. Breakfast में क्या खाना चाहिए? Breakfast में you eat things like poha, upma, idli, dosa, thepla, paratha, depending on the region that you belong to, depending on the culture that you belong to. आपके घर पे traditionally क्या बनते आया है, आप वो breakfast में खाइए. Do not open packets and eat those breakfast cereals, क्योंकि ये याद रखना कि जितना पैकेट खुलेगा उतना पेट फूलेगा. तो इडली, डोसा, पोहा, उपमा ट्रेडिशनल ऑप्शंस में प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. दैट विल नॉट लीड टू वेट गेन और दैट विल नॉट गिव यू अ प्रॉब्लम विथ योर हेल्थ. बट the more you eat processed foods and the more you eat out of packets, that much problem you are inviting for yourselves. Okay, you know, there was this study, there was this article that I was reading about one of these breakfast cereals ka company, where they were saying that it was so difficult to enter the Indian markets to sell themselves as a breakfast cereal because इंडिया में ऑलरेडी इतना अच्छा ब्रेकफास्ट का कल्चर है और हम इतने अच्छे अच्छे ऑप्शंस ब्रेकफास्ट में खाते हैं. Our breakfast is already so wholesome, so nutritious, so healthy and so good कि they didn't know कि Indian markets को crack कैसे करें. So it took a lot of time for them to crack the Indian market. पर क्या है ना कि हम लोग को सब फॉरेन चीजों में बहुत इंटरेस्ट रहता है. कोई स्टार ने एंडोर्स कर लिया, कोई प्रोडक्ट ने बेच लिया, किसी ने ये बोल दिया कि ये जो हम बेच रहे हैं ना वो आपके घर पे जो बन रहा है उससे ज्यादा अच्छा है, तो हम तुरंत उसको खरीद लेंगे. That's how they got into the markets and that's how we started. All of us, we left our diversity of eating poha, upma, idli, dosa. हम सब लोग अलग 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 breakfast खाते हैं. All of us left it and started eating just cereal and milk for breakfast with the hope that we're going to become patni kamar. But that's really not going to happen if we all start eating in a uniform manner. Okay, it's like, it's so sad, right? Because Indian culture is so rich, it's so beautiful कि हम लोग एक दूसरे के साथ neighbors अपना breakfast अगर किसी ने इडली बनाया and they're a traditional South Indian family, so they will definitely send you your idli. And nobody's idli will taste better than that. You must have experienced this. But imagine if we all started eating oats and milk and we all started eating cornflakes and milk और हम एक दूसरे को अलग अलग variety of cornflakes exchange करने लगे. It's going to be a disaster, right? So please don't torture yourself with those kind of breakfast options. Make sure that you are eating, your traditional breakfast. Now, between breakfast and lunch, chai या coffee पी के अपना hunger मत suppress करो. If you need to have a chai or coffee, you have it, but then at least eat something with it because by itself it doesn't qualify as a meal. वो आपको कोई nutrition नहीं provide करता है, वो सिर्फ stimulant का काम करता है. खाली आपको जगा के रखेगा, पर वो आपको कोई brain तक fuel नहीं पहुंचाएगा. Okay, तो खाली जाग के फायदा नहीं है, brain तक fuel भी चाहिए. तो have a handful of nuts. You can do peanuts, you can do cashew nuts, you can do things like a homemade laddu. अभी ये season में गर्म है तो फिर you have things like a sharbat also. Then skip your chai or coffee. So you can do nimbu sharbat, you can do bale sharbat, you can do kokum sharbat. All of these are amazing options. But what's the problem with these options? The problem is they are very tasty, they are local, they are promoted by our grandmothers, and they are things that are grown by our local farmers. So अपने को peanuts and cashew nuts बहुत fattening लगता है. अपने को नींबू शरबत, कोकम शरबत, बेल शरबत में शुगर से बहुत डर लगता है. अगर वेस्ट ने इसको पैकेज करके अपने को एक एक्सोटिक स्टाइल में इसको बेचा तो we will find it very very attractive and we will want to drink it. पर अपनी दादी ने अपने को प्यार से दिया तो अपने को इसका वैल्यू नहीं. That's just what it is. As far as health is concerned, they are brilliant options. It helps to beat the heat, it helps to improve your skin, it helps to keep acidity and bloating and constipation down, which is typically what we experience in the summers. Breakouts होते हैं तो वो भी उसको कंट्रोल में रखता है. Peanuts and cashew nuts का क्या है कि अपने को चखना में प्रॉब्लम नहीं है peanuts और cashew nuts खाया तो, पर अगर ऐसे खाया तो बड़ा fattening लगता है. I don't know where this comes from, but peanuts, for example, so you must have heard this, that red wine is very good for the heart health. Yeah, red wine, by the way, that was because it was, all of these are sponsored by the alcohol industry, all these studies. So of course they will call themselves heart health and friendly, heart healthy and all that. But it was promoted on the basis of this nutrient, it's called as resveratrol. And ये जो nutrient है ना, ये peanuts में भी present है. पर क्या है ना कि peanuts तो peanuts के भाव में बिकता है, तो why will we have value for that? तो इतनी सस्ती चीज, इतनी local चीज जिसका इतना कुछ value नहीं है, तो फिर अपने को लगता है कि अरे how can this give me antioxidants and protein and B6 and stuff, वो तो मेरे को सिर्फ wine से मिलने वाला है. That's not the case. Have a handful of peanuts. It's excellent for your bloating. It's a rich source of amino acids, which is nothing but protein. And it also works as an essential fat. तो वो आपको जो भी cravings होती है ना, of chocolates, of sweet, of sugar, ये सारी cravings को वो मारता है. So do a handful of peanuts, or you do a sharbat at this time. Then you eat your lunch. Keep your lunch very basic and standard, traditional lunch. Roti, sabzi, dal, chawal, thoda sa pickle, chas, because it's amazing to have a glass of chas at the end of your meal in the summers. It will really give you all the satiety that you require. Don't fuss with not eating roti or eating multigrain attas and stuff like that. वो सब मत करो. Normal गेहूं का रोटी करो. In the summers, you can even do jawar ka roti if you like it, but don't do things like mixing random 4-5 grains together and calling it very healthy and eating it. That's not how our culture taught us to eat grains या millets. It's there in specific seasons. ज्वार summer में खाते हैं, बाजरा winter में खाते हैं, मकाई winter में खाते हैं, ragi for everyone who eats nachni, you typically eat it in the monsoons. Yeah, that's also something you can eat all through the year, but don't switch from suddenly गेहूं से रोज खाली ज्वार खाने का. ऐसे मत खाओ. Introduce it in a couple of times in the week chalega, but stick to your normal gehu rotis as well, and prepare your food the way it's meant to be eaten. Okay, उसमें compromise मत लाओ. थोड़ा salt कम कर दिया, थोड़ा तेल कम कर दिया, थोड़ा ghee कम कर दिया. Don't do all those kind of things. I will talk about this a little more in detail separately. But basically, eat a traditional lunch, whatever is easy for you to do. Don't skip lunch. And if your lunch is getting delayed, because that can happen with work, then at your normal lunchtime, eat a banana, because it will sustain you till you eat your lunch. Okay. Then between lunch and dinner, make sure that you're planning for a meal between this 4 to 6 p.m. ka time. You must have observed this ki maximum junk khane ka man sham ke time pe hota hai. ये जो अपने सब चाट वाले होते हैं, भेलपुरी सेवपुरी, ये लोग भी 4 बजे ही अपना ठेला लगाते हैं. क्यों? बिकॉज पता है कि ये टाइम पे सब दे हैव डन स्टडीज ऑन अस, एंड मतलब दे ऑब्जर्व्ड आवर बिहेवियर, एंड दे नो कि यही टाइम पे ज्यादा पब्लिक आएगा खाने को, क्योंकि इस टाइम पे ही सबको कुछ जंक वंक चटपटा खाने का मन करता है. ये क्यों होता है? See, there is a hormone in our body, it's called as cortisol. Okay, cortisol is also known as the stress hormone. अभी स्ट्रेस तो अपने पास है ही बहुत, वो एक्स्ट्रा लाने का जरूरत नहीं है. पर इफ यू आर नॉट प्लानिंग योर इवनिंग मील, दिस कॉर्टिसोल डजंट गेट अ चांस टू सेटल. वो डिप नहीं होता है. उसका नेचुरल रिदम कैसा होता है कि सुबह को इट हैज टू पीक सो दैट यू आर एबल टू क्लियर योर बावल वेल, पॉटी ठीक से आ जाए. शाम को इट हैज टू डिप so that you feel calm, you feel well rested, you eat a small portion in dinner, and you're able to sleep well in the night. But if you don't eat anything between this 4 to 6 o'clock का window, ये cortisol चढ़ते ही रहता है घटने के. So you will not know how much to eat for dinner. You will not be able to sleep in the night. You will wake up feeling extremely tired and exhausted. So eating a wholesome meal, यहाँ पर भूख भी थोड़ी breakfast के जैसी भूख लगती है. खाली थोड़ा सा कुछ नट्स खा लिया, वो नहीं चलेगा ये टाइम पे. So you will have to eat a little bigger meal here. So what are your options? Some very, very nice, easy options are, lunch में अगर आप चपाती लेके जा रहे हो तो carry one extra चपाती, उस पे घी लगा दिया, थोड़ा गुड़ डाल दिया, make a roll and have that, like a roti ghee jaggery का roll. You can do any kind of homemade dry snacks. We eat things like chivda बनता है, गुज्जूस के घरों पे खाखरा बनता है, all those kind of dry snack, little biggish options. पूरी बनती है, मठरी अचार है. So those are some good options that you can have at this time. ये कुछ भी possible नहीं है तो sandwich is an easy option. You can just get a nice vegetable cheese toasted sandwich. फिर उसमें नखरे मत करना कि अभी brown bread खाओ कि white bread खाओ, because brown हो या white हो, it's the same. Just pick the bread of your choice. You can have a mango right now because it's in season. You can have a banana. But about mango and banana, I just want to share a little bit while we're at this topic कि अपने को ना हर एक fruit, kiwi, passion fruit, avocados, ये सब अपने को बड़े healthy और अच्छे लगते हैं. अपने खुद के ही fruit अपने को बड़े fattening, and इससे मेरा वजन बढ़ जाएगा, sugar बढ़ जाएगा. We are all like going after our own local fruits. So banana, mango, chiku, सीताफल, grapes, ये सब चीजों से अपने को बड़ा डर लगता है. वैसे तो mango is the king of fruits, but I don't know, we treat it quite badly. I want to tell you a fact that mango हो या apple हो या banana हो या kiwi हो, all fruits have the same sugar. It's called as fructose. Fructose जो है वो अपने बॉडी में एक ही तरीके से काम करता है. सेम वो मैंगो से आया हो या बनाना से आया हो या एप्पल से आया हो या कीवी से आया हो, बॉडी डिस्क्रिमिनेट नहीं करता है. वो फ्रुक्टोज को उसी तरीके से प्रोसेस करता है जैसे उसको करना चाहिए. इट्स नॉट लाइक अस, वी आर डिस्क्रिमिनेटरी, बॉडी इज नॉट डिस्क्रिमिनेटरी. तो वो एक ही तरीके से फ्रुक्टोज को यूज करता है. बट क्या है ना कि अपने फार्मर्स को के पास बजट्स नहीं है कि मैंगो का एडवर्टाइजमेंट बनाए या बनाना का एडवर्टाइजमेंट बनाए. वैसे कीवी के पास बड़े बजट्स है. देयर इज समथिंग कॉल्ड एज जेस्प्री. मतलब इधर के बस स्टॉप्स के ऊपर भी एक बड़ा सा होर्डिंग लगता है ऑफ कीवी. So the thing is that the international markets have the budgets, they have the money to sell their products. अपने farmers के पास नहीं है, तो अपने को लगता है कि जिसका ad है वो चीजें तो हमारे लिए अच्छी है, जो अपना farmer locally grow करता है नहीं नहीं ये तो बड़ा fattening है, this is bad for me. Mango, if anything, it has so many nutrients. It has fiber, it has vitamin A, it has it has zinc, it has matlab you name it, and it has everything that you need for good skin, for constipation, for your heart health, for your BP regulation, for blood sugar regulation. In fact, American Diabetic Association जो है वो लोग के fruits के जो list है for diabetics उसमें mango है, बट अपने को मैंगो से डर लगता है बिकॉज अपन ब्रेन वॉश हो गए हैं बाय द फूड एंड द वेट लॉस इंडस्ट्री की अगर कुछ चीज खाने में अच्छी है, अगर कुछ चीज खाने में टेस्टी है, तो वो तो बिल्कुल भी नहीं खाना चाहिए. दैट्स व्हाट वी फील अबाउट आवर फूड एंड दैट्स व्हाई मैंगो इज द टेस्टीएस्ट. अपने को लगता है कि अरे इतना टेस्टी चीज खा के हाउ एम आई गोइंग टू गेट हेल्थियर एंड हाउ एम आई गोइंग टू गेट फिटर. वैसा हम लोग ऐसा सोचते नहीं है व्हेन वी गेट अ जॉब, क्योंकि जितना ज्यादा पैसा मिलेगा, जितना बड़ी सैलरी होगी, वी ऑल फील वेरी हैप्पी. सो दैट टाइम वी वांट गुड सैलरीज. वी डोंट इवन थिंक लाइक दिस अबाउट आवर पार्टनर्स. वी वांट अ पार्टनर हु इज गोइंग टू लव यू. थोड़ी हम ऐसा सोचते हैं कि अच्छा दिस पर्सन डजंट लव्स मी अ लॉट, तो मेरे को इसके साथ नहीं रहना चाहिए. But with food, we do that. This thing I really like to eat, so I definitely shouldn't eat if I want to achieve any kind of weight loss or health gain. Who doesn't like mango? All of us like mango. All of us like banana also for that matter. Almost all of us. So please eat it. This is a good time to eat. और उसको उसके season में खाओ. When you eat it while it's in season, when it's local for you, it's not going to do any harm to you. अच्छी चीजें खा के खुद को अच्छी तरीके से ट्रीट करके you are not going to be at a loss. पर अपने को लगता है कि if I have to get fitter, I have to torture myself and I have to eat stuff that tastes very bad. ये अपने को ब्रेन वॉश किया गया है by the food and the weight loss industry. So don't buy that and eat the mango this season. So coming back to the evening snack, you can do things like roti ki jaggery, sandwich, chivda, laddu, mango, banana, or simply whatever you ate for breakfast, you prepare extra and you eat it at this time. Okay. When you start eating this meal, half of your battle is won because you will be able to then eat a nice normal dinner. You will not binge, you will not overeat, and you will feel light and you will be able to sleep well at night. And what should you eat for dinner? You should eat whatever that is prepared at home traditionally. Roti sabzi, khichdi, pulao, dal chawal. पर again, अपने को चावल से भी डर लगता है. मतलब जो भी अपन इधर ग्रो करते हैं सब चीजों से अपने को डर लगता है. I don't know why. चावल में also we constantly feel like, oh, it's fattening, oh, मेरा blood sugar बढ़ जाएगा. Well, again, हम लोग चावल अकेला थोड़ी खाते हैं. We eat it with dal, we eat it with sabzi, we eat it with dahi. We eat it in combinations. The minute you're having it in a combination, first of all, chawal by itself is low on glycemic index. Then when you have it with something else, it further decreases in the glycemic index. मतलब आपका blood sugar फट से बढ़ेगा ही नहीं. It will be a slow, steady increase. So it's okay to eat even if you're a diabetic. You can eat your chawal. For all those of you who are worried कि it is fattening, what you should know is that अपने को सबको protein का बहुत पड़ा रहता है. So rice is very rich in what is called as BCAA, branch chain amino acids. And what that does is it preserves our muscle tissue. वो muscle tissue को संभाल के रखता है. And क्यों चाहिए अपने को muscle tissue की संभाल के रखे muscle को? ताकि अपन जवान दिखें, It keeps us young all the time. So rice actually helps you to build muscle and therefore burn fat. Also, for all those of you who take a lot of time in the bathroom in the morning, it helps you to clear your stomach well. It's high on what is called as vitamin B6, very rich in vitamin B6. So आपका stomach अच्छे से clear करेगा. So eat your rice for dinner. And then if you are hungry at night, if you feel the need to have anything, you can have some haldi milk. अभी देखो ना हल्दी मिल्क के साथ भी क्या हुआ है. Till it wasn't called turmeric latte, till the West did not endorse it and give it an English name, अपने को हल्दी मिल्क का कोई value ही नहीं था. We feel like, anything that my grandmother is giving me, तो obviously only because she likes me. पर उसको थोड़ी पता है कि इसका मतलब क्या है. पर उसको ही पता है. Because today, all kinds of food guidelines coming from different countries, whether it's Canada, whether it's America, whether it's Europe, everyone is on the same page कि अपने culture के हिसाब से खाओ, अपने cuisine के हिसाब से खाओ, आपके kitchen में जो चीजें cook होती है वैसे खाओ. Do not discriminate between food and eat कि मैंने protein, carbohydrate, fat, calories के हिसाब से मत खाओ. Eat wholesome, normal meals, local, seasonal, and traditional. That's how you should be eating your food. So that's pretty much how you can plan your day. Okay, that's habit number 3, a long one, but the most important one. Avoid big gaps and eat at regular intervals. 3-3.5 घंटे से ज्यादा, मतलब between 2 to 3 hours से ज्यादा का gap मत रखो. The fourth healthy habit, and very, very, very important, a short one but very important, is do not be distracted or do not be on your gadget while eating food. अपने को क्या है that the phone has become a part of our body. Stomach से ज्यादा phone जरूरी हो गया है. Without the phone, we are not able to put anything in our mouth. फिर अपने को लगता है अरे यार, this mango खा खा के I'm gaining weight. But if you're not going to pay attention to what you're eating, how will you know when to stop eating? Then you need a dietitian. Then you feel like नहीं, मेरे से कुछ follow ही नहीं होता है. Basically, you just need to pay attention. So you have to remember what is called as the 3 S's of eating right. First S is that you sit and eat your meal. Try to, in fact, sit cross-legged if you can. नहीं हो पाता है ऑफिस में, तो at least एक पैर you keep on top of the other thigh. Then you keep the other leg on top of the other thigh after some time. So at least half cross-leg में बैठो. Why you should do this? Because it allows for better blood circulation to the stomach, so better digestion. The second S is eat in silence. Switch off all your gadgets. Do not have your phone, TV, app, iPad, laptop, magazine, book. ये कुछ भी मत इस्तेमाल करो while eating your food. If you are paying attention, then you will know exactly when to stop eating. You will not need anybody else to tell you कि इतना ग्राम खाओ, इतना चपाती खाओ, इतना ये खाओ. You don't need that. You will be able to tell it yourself. So eat in silence, and also remember that food is not meant for entertainment. Food is meant for nourishment. It's supposed to nourish you. वो आपके time pass के लिए नहीं है. It is an essential part of your life. तो उसको respect दो, उसको value दो, उसको attention दो, तो ही वो आपके लिए कुछ भला कर पाएगा. And for that you have to eat in silence without any gadgets. And the third S is eat slowly. That you chew your food well, that you really pay attention while eating food. And when you eat slowly, again, you will know ki kab rukna hai. So this is how you identify how much to eat at one time. Always remember that appetite jo hai na, it's a moving entity. It's never fixed. Ki aaj apne ko, every day you cannot eat the same portion. Appetite moves every day based on what are you eating, with whom are you eating, क्या season है. जैसे कि summer में automatically थोड़ी कम भूख लगती है, भूख मर जाती है. Winters में थोड़ी ज्यादा भूख लगती है. Company matters a lot. किसके साथ खा रहे हो? It's like imagine if you like an employee और उसके साथ खा रहे हो, उसके साथ थोड़ा चक्कर भी चल रहा है तो थोड़ा ज्यादा खा लोगे. But if you eat with somebody who you really don't like, तो खाने का मन नहीं करेगा, भूख ही मर जाएगी अपने आप. So company also matters. क्या खा रहे हो? When you're eating, अभी आमरस पूरी खाओगे तो थोड़ा सा ज्यादा खाने का मन करेगा, ये तो खाओ. But if you're eating something that you don't like to eat, so automatically you want to eat a little lesser. So appetite is a moving entity. It fluctuates, and you have to respect that fluctuation and eat as per your appetite. But how will you understand how much to eat? By following these 3 S's. Sit, silence, and slow. Okay. My fourth habit for you guys is exercise and activity. Something that we constantly delay. आज नहीं कल करेंगे, कल नहीं परसों करेंगे, नहीं अभी बस 1st of April financial year end हुआ, उसके बाद 100% I will start. वो कभी भी नहीं होता है. So you have to be realistic about your exercise plan. You just need about 150 minutes minimum in a week to exercise. Basically about 25-30 minutes every day, yeah, 1 hour every alternate day, whatever works for you. And what can you do in terms of exercise? Swimming, cycling, yoga, strength training, anything that you like to do, okay, of your choice. जो आपको पसंद है वो आप करो. But what I would definitely suggest is at least once a week of strength training or lifting weights, especially for all girls and women. It is very, very important because it helps you to improve your bone density. It accelerates fat burning. It improves the strength of your brain function. It makes you sharper. It improves your memory. It improves your performance. It also improves your confidence. It improves your efficiency. So strength training is something I would recommend. Rujuta has written a full book called Don't Lose Out Workout, in which she has actually in the strength training chapter even given one plan कि आपको exercise में gym के अंदर क्या करना चाहिए. So I would suggest all of you to refer to that. If you guys at Tata Power have like a small library or a setup where you can keep some books, then you should definitely get all of Rujuta's books and surely get the exercise one. So do strength training and remember that exercise is non-negotiable. वो ऑप्शन ही नहीं है अपने पास टू नॉट एक्सरसाइज. Okay, you have to exercise. If anybody is selling a diet to you, telling you कि हाँ बस खाली ऐसे खाओ, you'll lose 5 kgs in 1 month and exercise करने की जरूरत नहीं है, know that they are fooling you. क्योंकि एक्सरसाइज के बिना आपका टेंडन, बोन, लिगामेंट, जॉइंट, हार्ट, नीज, बैक, हॉर्मोन्स, ये कुछ भी नहीं सुधरने वाला है. एंड एजिंग इज अ नेचुरल प्रोसेस. हम बूढ़े तो होने ही वाले हैं, तो अगर एक्सरसाइज नहीं करेंगे तो और जल्दी बूढ़े होंगे और जल्दी बीमारियां होंगी. सो यू हैव टू एक्सरसाइज. Along with that, what's also very important is because हम सबका सिटिंग बहुत ही ज्यादा इंक्रीज हो गया है, तो you have to also work at being more active. So for every 30 minutes of sitting, make sure that you are standing or walking for 3 minutes. And जहां पर भी स्कोप है कि आप अपनी बॉडी को इस्तेमाल करो और कोई गैजेट को या इक्विपमेंट को इस्तेमाल मत करो, तो वो आप कोशिश करो. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, अगर थोड़े फ्लोर्स चढ़ सकते हो तो चढ़ जाओ इंस्टेड ऑफ यूजिंग द लिफ्ट. अगर थोड़ा गाड़ी को दूर पार्क करके कोई शॉप में चल के थोड़ा जा सकते हो, तो डू दैट एज वेल. सो बेसिकली क्रिएट दैट स्कोप ऑफ मूवमेंट, क्योंकि जितना बैठोगे, sitting is the new smoking, which means that it is an independent risk factor to heart issues, obesity, diabetes, Alzheimer's, many other non-communicable diseases. कि आप सब कुछ ठीक से करो पर बहुत ज्यादा बैठोगे दिन में, तो भी आपको ये सारी तकलीफें होने की आवश्यकता है. Like it can happen to you. Okay, so make sure that you are sitting less and moving more. Okay, don't be lazy. क्योंकि you must have noticed this कि suppose घर पे घंटी बजती है, तो who is the first one to run and open the door? Somebody who's young in the house, especially a child. अगर दो adults बैठे हैं, तो दोनों एक दूसरे को देखेंगे कि कौन खोलने वाला है, तू खोल या मैं खोलूं, या we'll wait कि कौन उठेगा पहले. फिर बहुत reluctant होके हम लोग उठ के जाके दरवाजा खोलेंगे. So every time you are getting reluctant, know that you are just adding on to more stress onto your body. जितना relaxed रहोगे खुद, उतना बॉडी पे ज्यादा प्रॉब्लम क्रिएट होगा. तो बैठ के रिलैक्स नहीं होते हैं हम, एक्चुअली बैठ के बहुत इंक्रीज होता है स्ट्रेस ऑन द बॉडी. सो सिट लेस, मूव मोर. एंड द लास्ट पॉइंट दैट आई वांट टू टेल यू अबाउट इज स्लीप. Sleep is one of the most underrated aspects of good health, of fat burning, of everything that we want to achieve in our life. अपने को sleep का value ही नहीं है, sleep को हम appreciate नहीं करते. अपने को लगता है क्या sleep is a waste of time, like eating food is a waste of time, but it's not. It is important to maintain a sleep discipline. Try to fix your sleep time and wake up time. Try to sleep close to 9:30, 10, 10:30, and wake up, as at a time where you feel fresh and it's possible for you to wake. But basically, एक time fix करो कि मैं रोज इस time पे सोऊंगा या सोऊंगी और रोज यही time पे उठूंगी या उठूंगा. Okay, try to do that because that will really help you. सोने के आधे घंटे पहले please switch off your gadgets. Do not be on your phone or do not be on any gadgets because all the light that comes from a screen, it makes you very, very alert and active. And instead of falling asleep, you get very हम चार्ज अप हो जाते हैं, तो फिर नींद नहीं आती है, फिर रात को नींद नहीं आती है, सुबह को उठने का मन नहीं करता है. अगेन द सेम प्रॉब्लम, प्रोडक्टिविटी डाउन, you're not able to work optimally, you feel grumpy, you feel irritated, it's all of those things. So 30 minutes prior to bedtime, please switch off your gadgets. उसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि बेड टाइम पुश करो, पहले फोन या टीवी या आईपैड या लैपटॉप बंद कर दो. Okay, and for all those of you who are unable to sleep at night, take a little bit of ghee and rub it on the soles of your feet with your own palm till your palm feels slightly warm. This will allow you to feel very relaxed and calm, and you will be able to fall asleep. And just one last tip, since you guys are doing this a fuller life, is that create scope for a short afternoon nap in your office. Everywhere in I think Asia and even Europe and stuff, they have this concept of an afternoon siesta. This concept belongs, not belongs, but it even is very much present in our culture and our country. And, in yoga, it's called as Vama Kukshi, where you take a 20 to 30-minute nap immediately after lunch. It really helps to rejuvenate your body. It really helps to digest your food well. It helps to improve your hormonal health, your blood sugar regulation, the health of your heart, your mood, your mental health. All of those things improve with just this short 15-20 minutes ka nap every afternoon. So try to incorporate that, and it's going to help you to get a fuller life. Well, that's all from me. I hope that all of these habits are simple and easy to follow, and we'll open out to questions.
Thanks a lot for such an insightful and engaging session, Jinal. I'm sure we have many important takeaways from all that you mentioned. And now that the floor is open for questions, let's see what the audience has to say. So meanwhile, I'd like to summarize and mention few important takeaways that I found that stood out to me. So first thing was how you mentioned about focusing on traditional, seasonal, and sticking to our cultural meals, right? And how we tend to dismiss all the fruits and meals that are available locally, and how we get how we are influenced by the West, and how we think that okay, that is more superior to our own traditional meals. So I think that's one thing that I found was different from all the others that we usually look up, right? All the other advice that we get. And how that the meals need not be sophisticated. It can be simple yet healthy. So
Absolutely.
The main takeaway was to keep it simple, to not overcomplicate things, and stick to our routine, what is suggested.
Yeah. No, Vaishnavi, the thing is, I'll tell you what the problem is, that, we associate very poor prestige with our local food. We don't have value. Apne ko lagta hai, "Arey, it's so uncool yaar, to eat dal chawal. It's so uncool to add ghee." Till ghee becomes clarified butter and the West is selling it and it's making dollars out of it, tab tak apne ko khud ke ghee ka value nahi hai. So we are really constantly waiting for someone else to validate the fact कि आपका जो खाना है उसमें बहुत सारा nutrients hai and it is very, very wholesome. So I think it's high time that we also recognize our food for the value and the health and the life that it brings into our life. So local, seasonal, traditional is the way forward.
Yes, I think I definitely agree with that. So we have our questions. One of the first questions that we have is, can we start our day with warm water, and what are the benefits of starting our day with warm water?
Oh yeah, absolutely. You can start your day with warm water. Honestly, the temperature of water doesn't matter. There is not a specific benefit of warm water per se, but starting your day with water will be good, because when you're sleeping, you're not drinking any water or you're not eating anything. So it helps you to start with good hydration. So starting with water is good. For anyone who has issues of constipation and stuff, warm water sometimes does help. So you can do warm water, but it has to be just then a glass or so. You can't go. A lot of people do things like 1 liter water every morning. ऐसा नहीं चलेगा. You do 1 glass, max 2 glasses. बस उतना ही रखो. And while we're at water, I also want to just share that even through the day, it's very important to drink water. So make sure that your urine is crystal clear. That's a sign of optimum hydration. Keep your water bottles handy. Keep plastic. Don't use plastic, but use like a steel or a glass water bottle. And drink enough water during the day. Yeah.
So we have our next question. So they're asking you about the benefits and demerits of coffee.
I don't know about any benefits, just that it tastes good. So for all of you who like it, you should have it, and have it the way you like it. Demerits is only when you are, again, you start replacing your meal. Like, for example, where I was saying that you have a sharbat or you have nuts. If you have just coffee, it will make you overeat at lunch. It will make you acidic going forward. If you have it in the evening, you're having at wrong hours, or you overdo it, then it makes you feel gastric. It makes you feel dull. So that's the demerit, so to say. But and of course, if you're doing like a lot of cups through the day, but if you follow the rules that I have shared, then there is no problem. Have it with the milk and the sugar and the way you like it, because sugar is not the problem. All of us nowadays want to have things like black coffee and different kinds of things without sugar. Sugar is a problem only when it comes in processed and packaged foods, like in biscuits or colas or Tetra Pak juices and chocolates and those kind of things. The sugar that we use at home or we use in our tea and coffee is your ganne ka sugar. It's cane sugar. And in fact, in our country, we celebrate sugar as a panchamrit. So, something that really keeps us fit and healthy and immortal, so to say. But sugar is not the problem. So please have it the way you like it, and avoid all the fad versions of having tea and coffee.
Thank you for that. So another question is for women who are aged between 20 and 25 years who are suffering from hormonal issues. Is there any specific food items that you would prescribe?
Yes, there are a couple of foods. So see, one, you have to first follow what I have already shared today in terms of the whole plan that I shared in one of our points. The other thing for women specifically who have hormonal issues, uh, you should include these foods that I'm going to talk about at least 1-2 times in the week. So sabudana works extremely well as a khichdi or as sabudana vada. So once a week you include that. Then you have these roots and tuber vegetables, yams, sweet potato, suran, arbi. These work extremely well. So you include them in the traditional forms as a form, as a sabzi or whatever traditional preparation that your culture or your family makes. You have that 1-2 times in the week. Sprouted pulses work extremely well. So, India has a diversity of about almost 65,000 variety of pulses. But now we have started eating just 4-5 different pulses. उससे ज़्यादा हम लोग बढ़ते ही नहीं हैं आगे. So explore the different pulses that are there in our, in our country and try to eat at least 10 to 12 different kinds of pulses. There's matki, moong, kurit, wal, chauli. I mean, there are so many. So thoda sa come out of your comfort zone and find out. And for women specifically, sprouted pulses, but again, don't have it kacha, have it cooked or have it with a tadka or have it like an usad, like in, it's one of the Maharashtrian dishes, or make a sabzi out of it. So sprouted pulses works extremely well. There is something called as garden cress seed ya ariv in Marathi ya halim in Hindi. It's a red colored seed and uske laddu bante hain. जिसमें खोपरा होता है और घी होता है और गुड़ होता है and it really works very well for regulating period cycles and hormones. So Arif ka laddu, if I'm sure a lot of people already follow Rujuta on Instagram, and her mom is also on Instagram by the name of Rujuta Diwekar, and she posts a whole lot of these traditional recipes. So you'll get the recipe of Arif laddu there. So Arif laddu once a day or at least 2-3 times in the week. That works extremely well. And all these different grains जो typically जो व्रत में खाना खाते हैं ना, कुट्टू का आटा है या राजगिरे का आटा है, so once in a while including those things also work a lot. So besides, of course, first you have to ensure that you're eating normally, you're eating well, you're eating at regular intervals, and then including these specific foods and strength training. Strength training is a non-negotiable for girls between 20 to 25 years of age, especially having any kind of hormonal issues, because it really improves blood circulation to the reproductive organs and improves the health of your ovaries. So strength training is a non-negotiable.
Thank you for such an elaborate response, Jinal. So we have another question that says that since you mentioned that we need to have our breakfast within an hour of waking up, so what are your thoughts on intermittent fasting?
Or never to do it. Or yeah, कोई दुश्मन है तो उसको कराओ. Actually, उसको भी मत कराओ, मर जाएगा. Because the thing is that fasting in our culture was always meant for diversity, for devotion, and for disciplines. For example, right now Ramzan is going on, right? And at iftar, you break the fast with certain traditional preparations. So there is a date, and then there is typically some traditional preparation that is made, which is not otherwise eaten through the year. Or Navratri is also going on. Navratri, maybe you end up eating all of these foods, kuttu, rajgira, sabudana, things जो आप routine में नहीं खाते हो. So the idea of fasts in our culture is always to bring in diversity, not to deprive, not to detox, not to lose weight. That is not why we ever did fasting. When you look at intermittent fasting, first of all, anything that is unsustainable is a no-no. For how long do you think you're going to be able to fast for 16 hours and eat just 2 meals in the day? हमारे कल्चर में कहावत है कि उसको 2 वक्त का खाना भी नसीब नहीं है. मतलब 2 वक्त is the bare minimum. कि 2 वक्त का खाना ही नसीब है या नहीं है. It's the bare minimum, right? And now we are doing the bare minimum by choice. When we have the money, we have the food, we have all of these things, but we want to deprive ourselves. Depriving yourselves and losing weight, essentially you're going to only lose muscle mass and bone density. Fat udhar ka udhar hi baithe rehne wala hai. You won't be able to do it for a longer period of time. The minute you stop it, you regain all the weight. And not just that, terms like hangry, hungry, angry because you're hungry come from things like fasting. You can look at a person and tell that, boss, isko chhero mat, ye diet pe hai. she's fasting. Don't ask her anything. She's going to bajao you in return, because you are not fueling your brain. You're constantly distracted. You're constantly unhappy. You're constantly irritated. But at the end of it, you just want weight loss, which is also not sustainable. So the thumb rule is to not follow any kind of a diet that has a name that gets sold to you in the name of weight loss. That is something you should never follow, and anything that is unsustainable. So जो चीज आप at least minimum 3 साल के लिए follow कर सकते हो, वैसी ही चीज follow करो. So no intermittent fasting. Just very quickly in Mumbai, like we see, we worked with the Mumbai police, and we worked with them while they are training, and then when they actually get onto the field and start working. When they're training, they're eating at regular intervals, okay? And they're super fit, and that's why they get selected or posted. Once they are posted, within a year, they look completely different. Because kya ho jata hai, from eating 3, 4, or at least 5, 6 meals in the day, by default, they go into eating just 2 meals a day because of the pressure and the stress and the timings that they have. And look at what happens to their bodies. So if that's what we want to do, and that's unfortunate that, they have to go through this. But that's kind of what happens when you force yourself into a fasting. So no intermittent fasting, especially not for women. It's very, very dangerous. We know of women who've lost their periods because of doing long periods of intermittent fasting. So yeah, nothing in the name of weight loss.
Thank you for that. We have another question. So one of our employees' son is around 7 years old, and he ignores his breakfast every day. And recently he started vomiting before everything that he is eating. So do you have any suggestions for him?
See, for kids, sometimes it does get difficult to wake up and eat a breakfast. So at least right now in this season, give him a mango in the morning, or give him a banana in the morning, or make a milkshake out of it. Or you can have things like ragi kheer, like a ragi porridge, where you use ragi flour and jaggery and milk and make something out of that. So those kind of things, and start slow. Don't force kids to have something. We force kids, and we really make them drink milk forcefully, उसमें powder डाल के उसका taste mask करके, and then they end up throwing everything out. So don't force your children. Give them the stuff that they like to eat. Kids typically like mango and banana, and they like nuts and stuff like that. To chikki hai, laddu hai. Like, get those kind of options and let them start with small portions. तुम्हारा जो आइडिया है कि मेरे बच्चे को इतना खाना ही चाहिए, वो उसका स्टमक नहीं पचा पाएगा. तो don't fix your portions into their stomachs. Let them eat as per their appetite. And a lot of time kids are struggling today because they're not sleeping on time, because the whole house is awake till late. So the kids also have a major FOMO. They also want to stay awake. Then therefore in the morning, their appetite is really suppressed. So figure out whether are they staying active? Are they playing enough in the day? Kids should have at least 90 minutes of outdoor play. Are they sleeping on time? Then all of these issues will get settled. And of course, they should be eating well as well.
Another question that we have is, so should we eat?
Sorry.
Yeah. So should we eat according to a given routine or schedule, or should we eat when we are feeling hungry?
See, ideally, of course, when you're feeling hungry, but for that, first, you need to make a schedule or get into a routine or get into a discipline, because, when you're working and when you are busy, hunger is ignored. So if you wait to get hungry, then by the time you are extremely hungry is when you will react to that hunger. So first, you actually just discipline yourself and set timings for yourself, that I'm going to eat my breakfast by 8, 9 o'clock. I will have this meal at 11. I'll eat my lunch before 2 o'clock. I'll have my evening snack by 5. So keep windows for yourselves and try to eat within those windows. Then your stomach will automatically start to get sharper with its own hunger and satiety signals. Then you will also be more receptive to your hunger and satiety signals. But if you wait to get receptive first and then eat according to that, वो नहीं होने वाला है. So pehle you'll have to get into a discipline of eating food, like eating at certain timings.
So another question is how to be positive and motivated through food while working in office.
One, by never being on a diet, by not depriving yourself or starving yourself, to get to a certain size or weight or whatever. We typically, Facebook throws these Facebook memories at us, and it shows us pictures from 3 years ago and 5 years ago. And every time, we've heard this from all of our clients, that when such pictures come, they feel like, Arey yaar, 5 saal pehle I was looking so good, but I was fussing so much about weight loss. I never felt good. You know, we are constantly unhappy with ourselves. So don't be unhappy with yourselves. Be happy and live in the moment and enjoy everything that you're doing right now. So don't starve and don't deprive. The other thing is that hold value with, around your local food. So a few foods that I want to quickly tell you that must be there in the daily diet so that you feel happy. A is ghee. Ensure that there is at least 1 teaspoon of ghee in your breakfast, lunch, and dinner each every single day. This is for everyone, from younger people to the older generation. Everybody should have it. Why? Because it really gives you that santushti, it gives you satisfaction. It also helps to burn stubborn fat in the body. It has a very unique structure of fat which is not present in anything else, and it helps to mobilize all the stubborn fat. It helps in assimilation of vitamin D. It improves the taste of your food, the flavors of your food. you know so ghee is something that should come every day. The other thing that should come every day is one local seasonal fruit. I think I've already spoken enough about fruit. The third thing that should be there is, like a handful of nuts. So like I was telling you about peanuts and cashew nuts, because they really work like stress busters. And for you guys, when you're constantly on the go, it's simple to just carry a handful of nuts in your pocket or in your bag, and you can just grab them as possible. So these are a few foods that should just feature every single day. And the last thing on in this is a pickle or a chutney. So a homemade pickle or a homemade chutney is something that should come either with your lunch or with your dinner. Again, because it improves the health of your gut bacteria, better gut health, better moods, better stability. You're much more happier. You digest your food well, you clear your bowels well. So homemade pickle and chutney is also very, very important. I think we'll take the last question, Vaishnavi.
Yes, Jinal. So we have more than 40 plus questions. So I understand due to paucity of time, we'll not be able to address all the questions, but we'll definitely send the questions to you. And whenever you're free, you can get back to us on that.
What I can do is I can actually just give you the names of all the books, and a lot of this will be covered in the book. So, that would be easier for me to get back, maybe difficult.
Yeah, sure. Even that will work. So one last question that we have is, so for insulin dependent patients, is eating mango every day a healthy option?
Yes, absolutely, it's a healthy option, because like I was sharing that, it's ऐसा नहीं है कि mango का जो sugar है, जो fructose जिसको fruit sugar कहते हैं, वो banana या kiwi या apple से अलग है. वो same ही fruit sugar एक ही होता है जो सब fruits में रहता है. तो वो body में एक ही तरीके से behave करता है. पर mango by nature is sweet. उसका virtue है कि वो sweet है, वो taste में sweet है. तो पर उसका मतलब ये नहीं है that it will affect your blood sugars. Sweet to taste has nothing to do with sugars in the blood. Blood sugars go all over the place. Yeah, insulin doesn't function optimally when you don't eat on time, when you don't exercise, when you don't sleep on time, when you are doing various diets and removing the traditional foods from your diet. That's when your blood sugars do not behave themselves. Normal food खाओगे, season के हिसाब से खाओगे, local produce खाओगे, mango is absolutely safe to eat for diabetics as well.
That's great.
Just follow the rules of soaking it for 15-20 minutes before eating, and then you eat it.
Thank you so much for your patience and for all the wisdom that you've imparted. I'm sure this session will prompt us to rethink our choices and to be more mindful of health gain and not weight loss, as you put it. So thanks a lot. We thank you on behalf of Tata Power. And before we end the session, I'd also like to mention that this is not the end. There are many more events lined up in the coming months. So please stay tuned and take care of yourself and families. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you. All the best.